Put a little out of the way. How we guys doing? What's up? I'm assuming you guys watched the Colts debacle. Pretty disappointing. You could almost see that coming from a mile away. If you don't mind, let me know who's in here. I'd appreciate it. I'll kind of break down some of these games. I'll let you know what I think of where you're at. Kyle, I wonder if you're on this week. As I'm watching the highlights from this Colts fiasco. Braden, what's up, man? I'm assuming you watched the Colts game. You still driving on the road? Looks like you're still having your kind of day, though, man. I was looking at your game earlier, even with JT freaking shit in the bed. Yeah, I figured you would be. But my goodness, dude, 40 points out of JSN. That's what Drew was saying. He should have kept JSN this year. And you think anybody was scared of JSN, or you think Drew was scared to keep JSN, or anybody who would have had him in other leagues because of Darnold? Do you think that's what scared people off of JSN, or what? I mean, you knew DK was gone this year, so I wonder what scared people away from keeping JSN. Jay, you got a comment on that? Dude, I was Jason, if you're watching, Braden, you'll like this. So I was going through one of our bonus segment clips that we won't air in our regular videos. It's just me and Jason just sitting around talking, and we were wondering why the hell Bedtime has Gabe Davis in his lineup, and gosh, dude, it just came down to like one of the funniest conversations ever. But I got it all on camera. But yeah, it's like this dude has, over his last 28 games of his career, he's got like less than one catch per game and only 3 touchdowns in that entire time, which spans like almost 3 seasons. So we were just sitting here dogging on that. Anyway, it was funny. But looking at some of these scores, though, man, I already got some big surprises. I mean, of course, my team shit the bed, and it's by some surprises, if you ask me. Jordan Addison throwing up a goose egg, which, Jason, I know that's not going to be a surprise to you if you're still watching. Mark Andrews sucks, dude. You talk about somebody who's just hit or miss. My goodness, he's awful. So whatever Beats does the rest of this game is just going to be pouring it on. But dude, Twin Bowers in a must win. He's pretty much shit in the bed too. Got a little bit out of Jaylen Warren, but Brock Bowers, I don't know. We'll see. I just don't think it's going to be enough. Big fish though. Derrick Henry, 2 touchdowns. It's been a while since we've seen one of those. But Braden, yeah, man, again, dude, looking at your score, that's what's kind of stuck out to me just when I was looking at the general scoreboard, was how quickly you've already gotten up. 60. Are you kidding me, Jason? No way. Hold on. Let me look. Oh my gosh. What he closed? Oh, he got that one in overtime, didn't he? 63 from Gibbs. Do you seeing that, Braden? Wow. Is that a new high? What was it before? What'd you get out of JT a couple weeks ago, Braden, 60 on the dot. Who's going to be a close one? Yeah, it was 60. Who's going to be a close one? Braden. What's going to be close? It ain't going to be Jason's game. Ain't no way. Oh, you think your game will be close? Yeah, the percentages aren't moving much in your game, Braden. I'm noticing that too. That Judkins though, I mean, that looked to be beneficial. Yeah, I'm looking now. That Judkins looked to be pretty beneficial. You know, like I was telling on Drew. I mean, it's 14, and it's probably a wash as far as the. No, it's not. So Jason, you got 8 out of Jettas, and Jetta's got 14 out of Judkins. So obviously, yeah, he won the early return on that trade, and he's going to need it too if he's going to try to beat Braden. But I have a feeling that Pearsall move is what that's going to be determining how he does in that game. That's kind of a tough move if you ask me, and I forget why I felt like he had to do that. Oh, I think the late scratch to Brian Thomas forced him to do that. I was kind of wondering why he had to do that earlier this morning. I'm assuming that's what it had to be. I still go back to Tez Johnson. It's like he's going to have random games where I'm always going to be like, why does he not show up in somebody's lineup? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, that game's still to be decided. I mean, you don't feel like you got this? I mean, Braden, you got to be a little bit concerned, though. That I was just getting ready to say, dude, this is not the first time with this Lamar Jackson and these single-digit points. I'm starting to wonder, you know, how long it is before you think, you know, Jackson Dart might really be into consideration. I know you're kind of can't right now because Jameis Winston's playing in place of him, but is that a real thought that's going to be in your head when Jackson Dart comes back? Again, dude, you've seen us break down these numbers pretty extensively, and there's not a game that he's played in this year that he's been under, I believe it's 24 points. So obviously you're seeing Lamar can go for 40, and I don't know that Jackson Dart can go for 40, although maybe he can. Yeah, we got a bunch of playoff. Yeah. Okay. I do see you, Warden. We got the Warden in the group now. I'm going to slide over to that game, Braden. Yeah, Scott, I am a little bit surprised by that, to be honest with you. And it's not even the Caleb Williams. I think it's probably more about DJ Moore, to be honest with you. And, of course, I shit the bed with Loveland, of course. You know, I finally pull him out, try to make the move there for Andrews, and that does me absolutely no good. But on the other side of it, though, and you've seen it, Scott, too, we're getting nothing out of Swift in a game where you got quite a bit out of DJ Moore. Dude, I've been saying that about the Bears all year. It seems like it's like only one offensive player can score at a week for that team. Dude, they don't have a week where it's like the Detroit Lions, for instance. Yeah, Jason, you know, you got 63 points out of Jahmyr Gibbs, and you would think that means that's a down week for other teams. Not so fast. Let me just slide right over here to Team Big Fish. That Amon-Ra still puts up 30 on 9 catches for 149 yards, dude. So that offense is just, it just doesn't even matter anymore. And how that thing worked for Dan. Dan, I'm kind of keeping an eye on this one. If Drew was able to keep this one close, I was going to be kind of curious on Dan on this decision to play Jared Goff over Dak Prescott. So that was going to be one I was watching. Obviously, it doesn't seem like it's really going to matter. But 17 seems like kind of a low number for a big score, a big week, and a game that went into overtime, to be honest with you. But anyway, back over there to the Warden side. The big week out of Caleb Williams, yeah. You know, Genty looks like he's getting off to a good start. Breece Hall, dude, who I've talked about in our shows, has just kind of quietly been pretty good as I guess what we would have to consider as a number 2 fantasy running back, which I can't wait to get these numbers back from some of you guys that I've got this submission for to kind of help me differentiate where guys should be playing based on what their numbers are and what their trending numbers are. So anyway, it's going to be really fun. But the Shakir play, dude, in an offense where, you know, it is absolutely impossible to try to figure out week in, week out what Buffalo Bill receiver is going to do anything. You know, you got a good one, especially without Kincaid. I also know that Knox did not do anything. So it's not like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it was just kind of like had to be him, and it was this week anyway. So, you know, I'm interested to see if Leggett pays off for you in another conversation, and that's not a clip that we have in the video that I posted this week, but in one of our other off-camera conversations with me and Jason, I have it. A conversation with Leggett being passed on by Coffee Creamer, or I mean Donnie Coffee there. So anyway, but a lot of games still to be figured out. Looks like we're pretty spot on my game. We got Big Fish. Looks like it's going to go the way we thought. I know ball is probably going to go the way we thought as it sits right now. Marsh Monstrous looking like the upset that we did predict. Again, short bus. Yep, called that one. The Warden. The Warden's going to be the one to flip our picks. The Warden's going to be the one to flip our picks upside down. So I think if you've watched our videos so far, it looks like we're pretty much spot on. The only game looking to kind of give us a challenge right now would be the Warden. So he threw it in the comments about not on his watch. Well, we're going to put that to the test here for the rest of this weekend. Good luck the rest of the way, guys. Just want to kind of pop on here for a second, give us a little something else to think about throughout the course of the week. I'm watching, always watching, guys. See you next time.